In professional wrestling, the grind never stops. Wrestlers are constantly reinventing themselves, not just with gimmicks, but with their physical transformations. From drastic weight loss to unbelievable muscle gains, these are 10 of the most shocking body transformations in wrestling history. The Blue Meanie is best remembered for his larger frame, but there was a brief period where he shocked fans with an incredible transformation. Between 1999 and 2000, he reinvented himself as the Blue Boy, dropping over 100 pounds and trading in his lovable underdog persona for an arrogant heel gimmick. As part of 3MB, Drew McIntyre's career hit rock bottom when he was released. It looked like the chosen one had fallen far short of expectations. Instead of sulking, Drew rebuilt himself on the independent circuit, completely transforming his body and presence until WWE couldn't ignore him any longer. When he returned, Drew McIntyre looked every bit of the main event star he was once predicted to be. Unfortunately, his rise to the top coincided with the pandemic, which robbed him of any chance to enjoy his first championship reigns in front of live crowds. Fellow 3MB band member Jinder Mahal was seen little more than a comic relief character, with no real chance of climbing the card. After his release, Jinder dedicated himself to transforming his body and rebuilding his image. When WWE brought him back, he looked like a completely different person, bigger, leaner, and absolutely shredded. Instead of being eased back into the roster, Jinder was thrust straight into the WWE title picture, and while his sudden push drew criticism from fans, his reign wasn't nearly as bad as many predicted, proving that his hard work had paid off. After The Rock's transition into Hollywood, fans saw his body have a dramatic transformation. Over the years, The Rock sculpted himself into one of the most physically imposing stars on the planet. Today the Brahma Bull looks every bit as massive and as powerful as the nickname suggests. Rhea Ripley is one of WWE's top stars. Her look now is instantly recognizable and has become iconic. If you go back to her early days, in the first Mae Young Classic, she looked more like a traditional blonde up-and-comer than the muscular gothic powerhouse she would eventually evolve into. Big Show's physique is arguably in its prime despite not being with the WWE. He proudly shares gym selfies, showing off a physique that no one thought was possible. He even has abs. It's an incredible turnaround. At one point his weight had spiraled out of control, but now he sports one of the largest six-packs the business has ever seen. The discipline and work that it took to get there was nothing short of remarkable. Brian Cage is so massive and muscular that it's hard to imagine him looking any other way. Over the past 10 years, Brian Cage has completely transformed himself. His arms, chest, shoulders, legs are several times bigger than they once were when he was an independent wrestler. It's not that Cage ever looked out of shape, but the level that he's taken his physique to nowadays is staggering. Scott Steiner had always been a powerhouse, but when he turned on his brother Rick, he took his look and his persona to an entirely new level. The transformation was so drastic that even people who had known Scott Steiner for years barely recognized him. His once lean, athletic build evolved into a jaw-dropping physique stacked with muscle on top of muscle. The reinvention turned him into Big Papa Pump, a larger-than-life character who demanded attention everywhere that he went. When Gunther was making his way towards WWE's main roster, Vince McMahon was still in charge of booking. The man formerly known as Walter was likely working hard to catch the chairman's eye, and his body transformation took shape. Rumors of Vince McMahon sending him back to NXT may have fueled his dedication. With the timing of the allegations against Vince McMahon, it's impossible to know whether Gunther's efforts alone could have swayed the boss. His transformation wasn't just physical. Walter becoming Gunther upon signing with WWE, a name change that initially drew criticism, now feels like a perfect fit. Between his imposing physique, new name, and relentless work ethic, everything seems to be clicking for Gunther. In his prime, Triple H boasted one of the most impressive physiques in wrestling. As a WWE superstar, he even graced the cover of Muscle and Fitness, and after a 2001 injury, the game underwent an intense 8-month rehabilitation, returning in 2002 in peak condition. Part of his dedication stemmed from a desire to emulate his wrestling heroes. The current WWE CCO was spotted enjoying some European sun and taking a swim and relaxing on a boat. It's important to note that Triple H faced major heart issues, which contributed to his retirement and naturally limited his ability to train at the same intensity. Even so, the WWE creative head still looks incredibly fit.